Hey there, and welcome back to Valley por Vida. Well, drinking and driving can be a big problem, and the Wrong Side of the Road campaign aims to address it. We decided to speak with an expert who could share some tips on how we can avoid the perils of drinking while navigating a motor vehicle in today's Safety Check segment.
Hi, my name is Anna Fitzgibbons, and I am Diageo's Director of Alcohol and Society for North America. I'm here today to talk about the Wrong Side of the Road, which is our new interactive experience, which is meant to give you the opportunity to speak to real impaired drivers and ask them about the decisions they made and the consequences they paid. We launched The Wrong Side of the Road as an online educational experience to help people understand the real risks of driving impaired and how it's really just not a good idea to do it under any circumstances. Our goal with the tool is to stigmatize the behavior, so to get people to think twice before they make that decision. And we've done that by contacting real impaired drivers who have bravely shared their own stories of impaired driving, telling us a little bit about the decisions they made, why they made those decisions, and what consequences they themselves have paid. So right now we have 3 stories up there, and they each have their own unique take. They each share what happened to them, and you have the opportunity to ask raw questions. So when you come in, you have you can choose between 3 people that you can speak to. And when I say speak to, it feels like a simulated conversation. You come in, you say, hi, I want to talk to, for example, David. David was unfortunately out on a night with a lot of his friends. He was drinking way too much. He was out way too late. He got home, thought he maybe had slept it off and had not, and woke up really early to rush to work, and on his way to work was involved in a crash. And then he talks to you a little bit about the consequences. So it's an interactive experience in that you have questions that you can ask, you can choose from. They're raw questions or questions that maybe you'd be afraid to ask someone in person. And then they answer them truthfully to help you understand what they went through and to hopefully get you to think twice before you make a similar decision. And so we also want to make sure that we're measuring the attitudinal change. We want to make sure we're measuring impact. And we do that by asking people a couple of questions up front and a couple of questions at the end to see if you've changed your mind and to see if you're more likely to maybe not get behind the wheel if you've had a couple of drinks. Diageo is the leading spirits producer in the world. And so we take our responsibility really, really seriously when it comes to responsible consumption. And you're absolutely right. It's not just about driving, it's about pacing yourself, it's about moderation. We celebrate those who want to drink, we celebrate that they can drink better, not more. And we also understand that there are people out there who don't drink, but impaired driving affects everybody. Unfortunately, in Texas, 37% of road traffic deaths are caused by alcohol impaired driving, and that's slightly higher than the national average. So it's definitely something that is important to the Texan community and something that we deeply care about everywhere in the world. This is a program that we've launched not only in North America, but all across the world in partnership with the United Nations Institute for Training and Research. And we care deeply about this issue. So there's been research that's gone into making sure that we're taking the right approach and that we're really stigmatizing the behavior. If you'd like to participate and go through the experience, you can visit drinkdriving.drinkiq.com, and there you'll find 3 stories that you can choose from to interact with. What we've done is we've created this experience in a variety of different formats so that anybody who is going through it, who thinks they have a broader audience to share it with, we can provide that for them. And so we're looking for smaller partnerships, larger partnerships, employee bases, and others who might be interested in leveraging this. And importantly, we're going to continue to add more stories. Right now we have 3, but we're going to source more stories as time goes on. We're really committed to this cause, and it's a 10-year commitment that we've made publicly, and we're reporting on it as a public company. So this is no small feat for us. This isn't something that we're just doing now and forgetting about later. It's really, really important to us. And the more people that can share it and the more people that can experience it, the better.
Again, this new tool is aimed to remind us all about the consequences of drinking and driving, and we hope that you can keep these safety check tips in mind. You can visit drinkingdriving.drinkiq.com if you'd like more information on the Wrong Side of the Road campaign. While many of us face severe illness in our lifetimes, and that can sometimes be a difficult reminder that we are, in fact, not invincible and that we must take care of our bodies. We can sometimes experience heavy emotions such as anger, grief, and doubt as we go through it. With this, however, we can become resilient in the face of adversities, whether it be emotionally or spiritually. Go ahead and take a look.
Well, hi, thanks for having me, Danielle. This is Amelia. I'm here to talk about resiliency, specifically to a diagnosis, whether for yourself or for a loved one or a friend. When we get a diagnosis of an illness, a lot of uncertainty comes up after that. A lot of stress can follow the diagnosis. And a stress response energetically is full of energies that are contracted. These are energies that kind of come around us. They can feel really trapping at times. And then we get energies like anxiety, anxious energies, worry, restlessness, sadness, anger, and it all gets trapped really close in. And so one of the first things that you want to do when confronted with an illness or a diagnosis is really check in with yourself. Acknowledge your feelings. That's the first part, kind of seeing what's there with you. And also making choices to attend to them. It's not enough just to see them, but we've got that action step that comes after. And it can come in the time that it takes. So coming with some compassion around sitting with what shows up, and then allowing yourself a little time to process and make some decisions that are in your best and highest good. So sometimes when we see these contracted energies around us, it wears on us. Our resiliency starts waning. And so I have some suggestions and recommendations for confronting illness. So first and foremost, assemble your team. Reach out to your church or your spiritual community or your friends. And, in the time that it takes, let them know what's going on. And it's okay to say things like, I'm not sure what I need right now, but I just wanted to let you know what was going on so I'm not feeling so alone. You can leave off that second part if it doesn't feel comfortable for you. But really, that's the intention, is to partner with the people around you so that you're supported. And over time, if you don't know what you need, slowly, as you get more information, it's going to become more and more clear. Another thing I recommend is reaching out to someone who's a holistic practitioner who works in energy. And I know some people think energy work is a little woo, but there are a tremendous amount of studies out there through the NIH and other for people who do holistic modalities like healing touch or Reiki or other energy medicine specialists. These practitioners, what they do is they specialize in helping you really move those energies that are contracted. They help you release worry, pain, anxiety, and even hopelessness. I sometimes think of it as assisted meditation because we're not tasked with the task to really sit in our meditation and practice that meditative state. We have somebody supporting us, and that's wonderful when we can't keep a clear thought under the presence of a large diagnosis. There are also practices that you can turn to without a professional. You can begin a meditation practice on your own. You can look to grounding practices like going outside, really feeling your feet on the ground.
And here's more information if you're interested in learning more on that topic. All right, well, that's all of our time for now. We want to thank you again so much for joining us, and be sure to tune in again next time because we'll be dissecting your gut health and what you can do to keep your stomach healthy. We'll also have another exciting Comedy Corner segment, plus how one student created a short film in honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month. Now, don't forget to follow our team on social media for exclusive behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of what we're filming for the show. And be sure to visit valleycentral.com to rewatch some of today's favorite segments. We've got all of that and so much more next time on Valley por Vida. We'll see you then.